Welcome to MuviesHQ, your place for movie reviews, where we rank movies using a 5-category system, looking at cast, plot, production design, sound, and directing. Taking the average of these categories gives the movie its overall score. That being said, here's your spoiler warning. Today I'm with Helen.
Hello.
And I'm Q, and today's movie is The Raid Redemption. Alright, so The Raid Redemption, directed by Garth Evans. Helen, what was your first impressions of this movie?
There's a lot of blood. Just when you think there's not enough blood, there's more blood.
So it's an action centric movie, right? So your overall impressions are blood.
There's a lot of blood.
Okay, blood, a lot of blood.
That's my first impression.
No, I mean if it's your impression,
It's a lasting impression.
Gotcha, blood. Well, my impression. This is the greatest movie of all time.
Stop.
What? It's amazing.
Take it back.
I know. Well, it's one of the greatest action movies of all time.
Thank you.
I think it's one of the greatest action movies of all time. I saw this movie a little bit ago. I introduced you to it, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And we decided to rewatch it the other day. What?
We?
Yeah, we.
We?
It was my turn to pick a movie, and we watched The Raid. So yes, we decided because we picked that system.
Fair enough.
So we watched that movie. And again, it was a great, magnificent, gory time. So let's go into cast. What did you think of the cast, Ellen?
So the only two people that have stuck in my memory is Rama and his little friend.
Who's his little friend?
The guy with the long hair.
That wasn't his friend.
His brother.
That wasn't his brother. Well, his brother kind of.
No, his brother. No, sorry. Rama, his brother, and his brother's second in command, with the long flowing
Mad
hair.
Dog.
Mad Dog.
Yep.
I knew it was something like that. I always think about puppies, but but those characters always those. Mad Dog is the character that I remember the most when I resaw it, and that's because I think he just says so little, but his fighting speaks volume.
Alright, so you remember Mad Dog the most?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. You want?
To me, an action movie, it's really not about the characters. There's not much character development. Rama, he wants to get in and get out alive so he can be there for his unborn child. And to me, that never changes. I think it's a little predictable that guy's his brother. So, again, to me, it's not much the cast that plays a part in it. I gave the cast a 6.
Okay.
Because Rama himself is good, but there's just, to me, nothing that makes it. It's better than average, but just better.
Okay, so yeah, I think those 3 characters are the main event, right?
And the police, the
captain.
Police captain.
I didn't really consider him. So the 3 characters I have are the ones you mentioned. So Rama, the main guy, Jaka, his brother, and the Mad Dog. Basically the 3 top fighters. And then the police captain is more just plot. Drives the plot. He's why they're there, everything, but he doesn't really show acting chops or drives the movie. Well, he drives the movie plot wise, but not character arc wise. So I gave cast an 8. And I was there with you on giving it a 6, around 5 or 6-ish. But if we think about our categories cast, right? Are they acting their souls out? No. But the physical presence and the martial arts expertise they can bring to this movie really couldn't be matched like anyone else.
So you're not grading per se on their acting abilities. You're grading them on their fighting.
Yes, because we've seen what bad fighting can look like. Iron Fist. Like, and that's something that's kind of underrated, right? In an action, it's like John Wick. Like we seen John Wick and Keanu Reeves, because you know he's actually doing that, and you can see everything. There's not shaky cam. It's not anything like these are skilled martial artists, skilled actors that know martial arts. It's not special effects messing with it, and you can't have the movie at the level of suspension and epicness and just suspense. I said suspense multiple times, but it's fine. You can't have that without these guys knowing what they're doing. So that bumped it up because I was going through them. Okay, I love this movie. Don't get me wrong. I love this movie. Don't get me wrong, but watching it instead of acting, because you still feel emotion when you see the brothers meet to get together, and you still see him surprised. So they give you the baseline emotions. It's about average, a little bit above average, like you said. And I was like, okay, should I give him a 6? And I was like, well, you could have got any old actors to get in here, but not everyone has that level of kung fu martial arts expertise. So that brought me up to an 8.
Okay, so I would say, to round it up, I graded them more in their acting, just because that's, I think, that's how I look at movies.
Yeah, that's fair.
Their fighting, to me, I cannot tell the difference between one martial art. So they could be doing a great job, and I wouldn't know. They could also be doing a very bad job, and I wouldn't know.
That's fair.
So to me, looking at it from an untrained eye, it's just a lot of boys hitting each other. Is that fair?
Yeah, I didn't say it wasn't. So we talked about the cast a little bit. Let's go into plot. What did you give plot, Helen?
Plot, what do you think? What did you give plot?
Are you gonna ask you a question? You just flip it on me.
But I did.
Nope, you gotta answer first.
No.
Yes, you answer.
So, I gave plot 8.5.
Really?
I did. Why are you so shocked?
I don't.
What'd you give it?
I gave it a 6.
Oh.
I'm interested. What did you think?
So my thing was this. The story takes place in an apartment building, the back of a SWAT truck, and a little bit in a bedroom.
Yep.
That's it. I'm interested throughout all of that. The plot drives this movie. Not the characters, not the fighting, the plot. Because you basically, to me, the way the plot can best be described is it's very linear. Like, he's gonna, literally linear. He starts from more at the top of the apartment building and he works his way down and out. So, to me, each floor is a new challenge. Each floor is something new. Yeah, it's still, everyone has the same goal throughout the whole movie, but it's who wants that more. And that's what keeps me on my toes. So overall, I do like the plot. And again, if you can pull off a movie with one location and a very compact location, it's not like, oh, well, yeah, every movie takes place at a location. No, this takes place in one apartment building, stuffed with people. So they're having to find out ways to blockade doors when these people barely have anything in their apartments, and every choice that they make is something, it's believable. So, for example, when they blockade the door, he gets the propane tank or whatever it is from underneath the sink, stuffs in the fridge that's empty because this is a very poor complex, and he blocks the door with it and then explodes. That actually would happen. And if I were in that situation, I would not think of that because, I'm neat. But I get why he did that, and I don't think it's a far reach that they do that. I also like the fact that there's this guy watching it all, literally controlling controlling everything, the puppet strings, basically. He's the puppeteer. He's controlling, hey, this door opens, beep, hey, this door open, beep, they're on floor 5, go get them. Like, that to me adds a whole level to it. And that's basically like the unseen unseen guy, of the plot. So to me, basically, I know I just said a lot of words. that may not have made sense. But to me, the plot could have gone downhill, could not have kept my attention very easily because, again, it doesn't change the setting, it doesn't change the location. And sometimes you get bored with your surroundings in a movie. But it did do that. The plot was riveting enough, and although it was linear, it was very dynamic at the same time because it was constantly changing who he was fighting with, the method that he had to fight with, if he was fighting for himself, fighting for his friend, fighting for his brother. There were 3 types of fighting that he was doing. It was very, very interesting to watch.
Oh, okay. So listening to your argument makes me want to change my score, but I'm not, because we do our scores before. So I gave it a 6. And here's my thinking for giving that 6. Right? It's a very simple story. Pretty much, they say, hey, this is a drug-ridden place. We need to raid it, get people out of there, and get out. That's our mission. They literally say it because he goes in the SWAT car and says that. And you're like, okay, that's the mission. So really, he's just moving up floor by floor by floor. Now you end up getting more story. Like, oh, it's his brother. Oh, it's Mad Dog. Oh, the police captain set this all up. That was cool. Like, it wasn't bad. Though everything made sense. So that had an average for me. And the little plot twist at the end, the police captain hooked it up. That was like, oh, okay, kind of like a 6. So that's why I gave it a 6.
But when you say he set it up, he knew that they weren't getting out of it alive,
oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, he knew. You sent him to the slaughter. Or maybe he thought I can't remember. But you definitely set it up. The police captain definitely set it up. I think, so I guess, from my personal criteria, for a plot to completely hook me in, like a high-scoring one, it has to be completely engaging, completely the movies I love. Like, I love The Prestige, and I love Inception. I'm just listening to Christopher Nolan movies now.
Basically.
But
it has to be a Christopher Nolan plot.
Yeah, but those plots, they do something special. Now, his plot made sense. It was a great driving force for some great action, which I love. But it didn't go above and beyond for me. But listen to your argument. You're right. You are completely engaged. And I guess maybe I thought it was more the action that had me engaged. And you're like, no, that was the story that had me engaged. That's an interesting point. So I don't know. Maybe I just can't tell the difference in my mind. But for me, trying to look at everything objectively, the story was very simple. But I think some of the best kung fu movies are because you get to focus on the action, not necessarily the what.
You get to focus.
Yeah.
You said focus.
Yeah, I got an accent, don't judge me.
I get to focus?
But yeah, I gave it a 6, and I'm keeping it there for this. So, what's some of your favorite scenes from the movie?
I like the fight with Mad Dog and his brother.
Same.
Because it's, at this point, you're like, oh my gosh, I really hope the main character makes it out alive, but I really hope his brother does too. So you go into it kind of not caring about his brother, not knowing the relationship, so all you care about is Rama and his friend that he is caring for, and then all of a sudden here's a third person, and you're like, wow, I really care about this guy. And it's also that, again, I don't know the difference between the martial arts fighting, but I can tell that's a good fight. Mm-hmm. One man should not be able to hold off 2 people simultaneously.
Yeah.
At the same time.
No, you can do it. I want to hear it. Get it out.
Simultaneously.
There it is, yeah. So yeah, that's an awesome fight because these are all 3 of the people that are the pinnacles of everything we've been watching. And you see Mad Dog take on 2 guys that aren't pushovers. Both of them were clearing out rooms themselves. And the grittiness of it and the realism of it, people take time to take a breath and get up and regroup and actually take damage.
Yeah, you can tell they're tired.
Yeah.
They are drained. Mm-hmm. They are done. Even though it's 2-on-1, the 2 are more tired than just the one fighting for himself to fight to survive. He is literally fighting to survive, whereas the brothers are fighting to, yes, stay alive, but also to stay together.
When you say stay alive, they're fighting. Mad Dog fights for sport. That's what makes him so scary. Because remember earlier in the movie, he finds another guy pretty much he sees as a worthy fighter. He has a gun to his head, tells him to go into a room.
Oh, that's right. Puts the gun
And
down.
he's like, I don't really like guns. Like, show me what you got. Like, he fights for pure sport. So that's what makes him even crazier and more
So I
intimidating.
guess he has nothing to lose.
No, he just wants to.
He's mad dog.
Kind of has like the samurai mentality.
He's mad dog.
Oh my god. And with that, what was your least favorite scene in the movie? Was it the blood and all the blood?
So I don't really have a least favorite scene, to be honest. Oh, I think the most brutal scene is when they turn off the lights and the guys are, it's in the stairwell and the guys are in the stairwell and then they're just getting shot down at. And then when the kid is killed.
Yeah, those are brutal. But they're not bad. They definitely help build the environment. I would say,
they're not bad. They're
yeah.
just, if I had to choose, like, which scene don't you want to watch, I'd choose those two.
That's fair.
And the one where his friend, his bile duct is leaking.
Oh, that did happen. Yeah, that was nasty. Oh, well.
Oh, and the scene where he has the door's broken, and he, like, flips him, and he slams his throat up into the
His
wood.
windpipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that one.
So the blood.
Yeah.
So pretty much the blood. All realistic it looks like to me. I mean, I haven't seen anything that happened to people, but I'll say the worst scene. I didn't like. Again, I'm coming back to it. The end. So I don't mind the police chief and everything. It was at the very end. The brothers are like, "Hey, why don't you come home and everything?" And just like, "Oh, you know I can't go with that. Blah blah blah. I'm life of crime." Walk away. Just I get it, but yeah.
Then why fight?
Just man. Exactly. That's part of it. Why? Yeah. I don't know. It didn't. Love the movie. Love the twist. But then the brothers, the way they just kind of send each other off, it was whatever.
Well, the way I took it was the brother was now going to be top dog, like he was going to be the kingpin kind of character.
Oh.
So that's why I think he kind of was like, I've stayed in this life to get somewhere in this life, and now I'm here. I'm not going to just walk away from it.
Well, we can watch the Raid 2 and find out.
Oh gosh, there's a second one.
Oh yeah, there is a second one.
Is it?
Oh no, you'll watch it. Don't worry.
It's even more bloodier.
Don't worry about it. This will be fine. Brings into production design. What'd you give it?
I gave it a 6.5. I think it's very realistic for being in a rundown apartment complex that's really not taken care of. It's kind of, here's 4 walls, a window, and a floor that you're going to have to pay me for, and I will protect you when you're living here. And that's it. Just everything from the paint chipping to, it said there's no food in the fridges. There's a guy that tries to get in with his wife's medicine. And you can tell, like, there are good people in the apartment. So I think there are people that are really just staying there for a way out. And you can tell the difference between those apartments, because in that apartment, for example, they had pictures up. They had a placemat or a tablecloth. They had a real bed. Whereas the other places were kind of just like teenage boys. Yeah, just selling crack and staying there. So I did like the contrast between that.
I gave production design an 8. And I think for all the reasons you kind of gave plot a boost, I gave production design because you felt like this place was lived in, run down. It was dirty, it was nasty, and you kind of saw the scum of this city living all here. And the way the main bad guy just commanded everyone in there, like, you're all in my debt, fight to the death because this is your home, like, go. And that didn't seem unnatural. It seemed very organic.
Like, I personally, if I was living there, I would have been like, really? I'm going to fight to the death for this? But then, because it was run down, it was lived in, I understood.
Yes, all these guys had. So that really grabbed me, so I gave it an 8.
I gave it a 6.5.
Gotcha. Now, sound. So I have 2 scores for this. Because I have seen this movie dubbed, which means like American voiceover, and subbed, where I listen to original Japanese or Korean. I think it's Korean actors, and then just subtitles. The dubbed version we watched, I gave it a 4.
Oh, that was awful.
It was bad.
It was distractingly bad.
It was
Just terrible.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad we watched it dubbed, but that was wasn't great. Subbed, I gave it an 8. I kind of cheated a little bit because I was going back to the last time, but the acting's there, like in the voice acting and the pain and everything, and the sound effects and the action. Your hair stands up when there's action scenes, the music plays and everything, so it brings you into the movie. But yes, if you're watching it dubbed, don't do that. Just read the subtitles.
Yeah, turn it off.
Read the subtitles. It makes the movie a lot worse. And I think you hit it. It's very distracting. What'd you give it for sound?
I gave it a 6. And that's probably because it was dubbed. It was awful. I mean, like, there are certain scenes where you shouldn't have been laughing.
Yeah.
And you were just like, really?
Like, oh, no! Like,
yeah, they didn't need to dub. To me, dubbing should be limited. It should be where it's needed. For example, in a fight scene, you shouldn't need to dub the yelling of pain, the screams, the crying. Like, unless they're saying something during that scream or that yell, yeah, I understand that, but that takes away from it.
But then wouldn't it distract you going back and forth between the two different... You should just listen to this movie sub.
Yeah.
That's... When we watch the Raid 2, we'll watch it subbed.
Oh. Gosh, okay. I will say, though, that every time someone was hit and punched and bones broken and someone shot, like, you felt that. That was crystal clear. It became a part of you as you're watching it. So that's why I gave it a 6. But honestly, I would probably give it a 7.5 to 8 if I'd watched it sub, not dubbed. The dubbing I'm pretty sure I missed parts of the movie because I was just trying to not look at the dubbed mouths.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. Watch it sub. Do yourself that favor. So that brings us to directing. What'd you give directing, Helen?
I gave it a 6.
Okay.
Again, good movie. It's hard for me to talk a lot about this movie because I really enjoy movies that are more of a drama, much more dialogue. I get distracted easily if there's not dialogue. Like, I'll start looking at the ceiling and stuff. But, like, in the apartment, I'll be like, oh, that's nice. I'll start thinking about things that I have to do, stuff like that. But the director kept me intrigued throughout the whole movie that I didn't have to go off into my own world while watching it. So overall, I gave it a 6. He kept my interest. Would I rewatch the movie? No. Do I want to watch the second movie? No. Will I because I love Quentin? Yes.
You gonna like it.
But I'm not gonna enjoy it.
You will like it. If you just... I'm gonna teach you the things. Anyway. I give directing a 9. Reason being, I watch a lot of action movies, and a lot of them are subpar. A lot don't completely grip you the way this one does. I think some others have better stories, but there's something special here in this movie. It really is. And I attribute that to the director. Because you can easily get lost in a action film, from shaky cam to action set pieces to over dramatized final battles, but he kept it grounded and as realistic as a martial arts movie can be. Because we all know there's been plenty of fights out in the world. Like, I've never seen a high speed chase that ends in 2 cops in a assailant having a kung fu fight at the end. Would I love to see that in real life? Yes, I would. It's never gonna happen. It won't happen. It won't. But to be able to go to these worlds and see those really fun. And the first time I watched this movie, it really had me speechless. It was crazy. So.
Oh no, you had the words. You were not speechless.
I love this movie. So
you were hyped.
This guy, Garth Evans, I salute you. I very much enjoy this movie. I hope other people do too, and I hope maybe our show can help illuminate the greatness that is the Raid Redemption. And don't worry, we'll review the Raid 2 in time. Anyway, let's go in overall. What did you give it overall, Helen?
6.6.
Overall, dubbed, which is the one we watched, I gave it 7. Overall, subbed, I said 7.8. So I'm going to go with 7.8 as my final score, because dubbed really does ruin the experience.
Don't do dub.
Don't do dub. Just read the subtitles. DDD.
Hashtag to save a life.
Hashtag triple D.
Don't hashtag that.
But, yeah, I really like this movie.
The reason it's just not my kind of movie. So for me to watch it the second time, I did notice a little bit more. And maybe if I watched it a third time, I'd notice even more. But again, it held my attention the whole time. Held my attention the first time I watched it. It's just, to me, I can't even do a nosebleed. So me watching a movie where people are bleeding out and everything, I know I miss parts having to look away. And that's why I didn't feel comfortable giving it a higher score, because I think I truly did miss some of the movie.
That's fair.
Overall, I would say if you're bored one day and you're like, you know what, I want to check out a decent martial arts thriller, I would definitely check this out. And I say that again because the whole plot, and I would tell you the whole plot in 5 seconds or less. They raid an apartment building to get rid of the scum and the gangsters living in it. That's it. And the fact that that keeps you entertained for how long is the movie?
I don't know. Pretty long.
Pretty long? Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's an average. It's a movie. Not abnormal and not like short, but.
But yes, I won't say I love the movie, but I don't regret seeing it. And I don't regret seeing it twice. I will regret seeing it 3 times, though.
We'll see what you say after the third viewing.
Stop.
So, for me, my final thoughts. If you love action, you're going to love this movie. It's special. It's something special. It's not your average run-of-the-mill kung fu, karate, action, gun fu kind of movie. It's the precision in it, the martial arts, the realism, the grittiness. People actually get hurt. The main character's not impenetrable and not getting shot or stabbed or hit. He's actually feeling the blows. There are stakes for such small plot worked in to build up the characters you care enough. They give you just enough so you care about them. So.
And you don't realize you care about them.
Yeah, until you start seeing them get hurt.
Until
you're
they
like,
get hurt.
Wait.
You're like, no, my heart.
But it's a fun time. So please check it out. I gave it a 7.8. 8, but action movies it's 9-10. But trying to keep it on the scale we use here, you'll like it. Well, thank you everyone for hanging out with MuviesHQ. You can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. So tell your friends. You can subscribe, like, comment to help our show grow. We aren't critics. We aren't experts. We're just a couple that loves movies. This is MuviesHQ signing off.
Bye.